The day has finally come.
Yeah, the day's come.
It's leaving day.
It looks like a beautiful day.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's supposed
A
to be
little warm, but
hot and humid, so good time to be heading north.
yeah.
So, bittersweet. It's, normally we're super excited when we get on the road. It's a little sad today.
Yeah, it is. But we're coming back.
Yeah.
Just forewarning, we will be...
Popping in and out.
Yep. We will pop in and out of here more often than none. Just cause.
But it's road trip day.
Yeah.
So let's hook up and get on the road.
Ciao.
Ready for the slides to come in? All right, here we go.
That's why I hung my clothes out there. It's not humid now. Or not bad. That one place in that driveway, I can't get it to stay wide. The water comes and rushes.
Well, after getting back into the groove of travel, we've stopped near Hutchinson, Kansas for a couple of days. One of our longtime viewers, going back to, if you remember when Stan of the channel Saznak first interviewed us at our first RTR in Quartzsite in 2019. She's been following us since then and messaging us, and so now we finally get to meet in person, and she's been so gracious to let us stay at her farm, and we look forward to spending a wonderful couple of days there. Well, we're off to do something fun today.
Yep, as soon as I can get off my can.
Christine, the wonderful lady who has been so generous to let us stay here, is taking us up flying in her gyrocopter today.
Nope. Gyroplane.
Gyroplane?
Yes, they are not gyrocopters.
Oh, okay. Good to know. So she's going to take it out of the hangar here at her house, and she's going to fly it over to the local airport. We're going to drive over there and meet her, and then we get to go up and fly.
Mm-hmm. I've been in helicopters, I've been in planes, I've never been on a gyroplane.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah. I think it is going to be fun.
I think so.
Let's go get high.
Ah! Funny, ain't he? We made it to the Newton Airport. Now it's our turn.
Hey, like our new rig? We just figured we'd get a Super Duty 450. No.
We traded in Grace. No, we didn't.
No. All right, we gotta go do some stuff.
We're gonna go flying.
We're gonna get high in Kansas.
I just got back from my flight and that was so much fun. I see why people get hooked on these gyrocopters. It is the closest thing to feeling like a bird soaring through the sky. You have no cockpit around you. You have the wind blowing in your face. We even had a hawk come up right next to us and check us out. And wow, just beautiful. So much fun. Hopefully Bubba's enjoying his flight. So we're here with our friend Christine, and she has a really cool hobby. And she's going to tell us all about it. You won't believe this. It's so neat and so much fun. So I'm going to let her show off some of her toys and explain what they are. All right. So now I understand this one here is your personal
Yeah.
toy.
Yeah.
Would you like to show it to us and tell us what it is and explain a little about it?
Yeah, this is a modern tandem open two-seat gyroplane, gyrocopter. Three equally valid terminology to describe these rotary aircraft. And there's only two rotorcraft. One's a helicopter with a powered rotor, and the other is the gyroplane with the auto-rotating unpowered rotor. And we get the rotor turns like a pinwheel with relative wind blowing from the bottom through the top. And we provide that movement of the aircraft by the engine with the propeller thrusting us forward. Or once we reach altitude, our sink rate through the air keeps the propeller, or keeps the rotor spinning. So it was originally back in the 1920s developed by a Spanish fellow called Juan de la Sierra, and he was sick of having too many of his pilot friends die in fixed wings because of the stall spin demon that accompany fixed wing aircraft. You get too slow, they will stall, spin, drop out of the sky, which can be especially, you can recover at a couple of thousand feet, but not when you're coming into land or get too slow or too close, and then it ends up being a deadly event. And still is even today.
Yes.
So he invented the rotating wing, and the early autogyros looked like big ceiling fans on top of stubby winged planes. Conventional tractor with the propeller, tractor planes with the propeller up front. So if the propeller's in the front, it's a tractor. If it's at the back, it's called a pusher. So the modern ones, and we have great visibility when you're sitting up there almost in the open air. This particular model has a great windshield which gives the pilot great protection. I've flown this, well, not this one, but the previous one I owned from Kansas to Florida in January, February, the winter of 17, which happened to be a nice mild winter, and I had perfect weather windows between the storms going across the Gulf Coast. I went straight down to Texas, east of Houston, and then caught the breaks in the weather to progress towards Florida in the weather breaks. So I got lucky. In the winters since at that time frame, I don't really see that I could have done that again. So I had a lucky year.
An interesting time of the year to be out flying.
Yes. But if you're on your own, you're wearing puffy jacket and turtleneck and ski pants and fleecy pants under that, you're perfectly warm. It's like snowmobiling. The only thing is you're sitting still, and every couple of hours, hop out, refuel, bathroom break, have a cup of coffee, get the blood flowing, shake it up, and go again for another couple of hours. So, and then this one I picked up in Australia that same year in April. It was a replacement for the one that we lost when my husband passed away from a brain hemorrhage, and he went down just a mile or half a mile away from, or quarter mile from our home here at the farm. And so this is a replacement for the machine. It has the Rotax 914 engine, which is a it's a turbocharged 80 horsepower basic engine, low compression engine with a turbocharger, which brings it up to 115 horsepower for 5 minutes. So it's the nice thing with the turbocharged engine is you can take it to higher elevations and go mountain flying with it. And the one you guys were flying today just has the regular carbureted 100 horse engine, and the higher you get, the less power you have with that normal carbureted engine.
So how high of an altitude can you fly with this one here?
As long as you can breathe without oxygen. Now, this engine has taken Italian and South African pilots to 28,000 feet, but they had, obviously heated suits and oxygen. Yeah.
Right.
So they did, they spiraled up and up and up and up over the Namibia desert to set one high altitude record I think it was the German version, the MTO Sport. It was an open gyro, just basically looks the same as this. So they got about, until they couldn't, the engine just couldn't climb anymore. You know, the air got too thin for the rotor and the prop to work. You know, there wasn't enough air for the wing or the propeller to grab to get it to climb anymore.
Wow.
So, and the Italian lady did it in a Magni, the Italian version of these, and I think her name is Donatella Ricci. Anyway, she got up to about 28,000,
Wow.
I believe. Yeah. So,
That's
yeah,
incredible.
the highest I've been in Utah. Actually, I was testing out this Sentinich prop that was made in Florida, and I tried it on this, and I was flying about 9,500 feet in the out from Nephi. I was still looking at the, you know, I wasn't up at the mountaintops yet. I was getting close to 9,000. I thought, I don't know, you know, how thin the air is, and you know, if I start feeling altitude, you know, so this was, you know, 9,000's about enough, and I just turned around and did a gradual descent back down to Nephi.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been incredible.
Oh yeah, you know, I've got some pictures, you know, just flying, just doing a gradual climb using the you know, edge of the mountain with ridge lift to help the climb, and just looking for, I was just with my camera taking pictures in these little little, you know, alpine valleys and gullies, and it's like, wow, this is so cool. And the rocky outcrops, yeah.
Wow. Now you've got a special decal there on your...
Yeah, this is in memory of my husband Jim, who passed away in July of 2016, and he had a brain hemorrhage, and you know, passed, you know, just went down with his machine when he was flying right before we were due to go up to Oshkosh to exhibit for the first time for this company that we formed to market these in North America.
And what model is this?
This is the Titanium Explorer out of Australia, Australian made, like me. Yeah.
So this, and now this one, is this from the same company?
Yes,
that...
this is the engine with the Rotax 912, which is a 100 horsepower engine, and it's great at sea level, you know, in the heartland, down at the lower elevations, and for lighter people. Jim was a big 6'6", 300-pound man. We needed the turbo to lift both him and I, and you know, fly around together, and for him to get his training with a flight instructor, especially, you know, out in Utah where he got a lot of his training. So that's why we went with that one. But I love the simplicity of the main. You know, this engine is so simple, and it's easy to service and maintain. That one has computer complexity, you know, operating the wastegate, and I'm just not a big fan of overly complex engines. So this one, you know, was having some turbo issues, and I decided, luckily I've got a Rotax engine mechanic just 4 miles away, and he's got his own little strip there, and he does edge performance conversions to a lot of Rotax aircraft of all kinds. So I've purchased a fuel injection kit, so that will boost and it simplifies the operation of the turbo, and we'll have a little intercooler, so we'll be getting about 120 constant horsepower out of this engine, and boosted to 128 for takeoff. So
Wow.
I'm looking forward to getting a little more oomph in the engine.
I'll bet.
Yeah, especially in the heat of summer when all your aircraft rotor, propeller, all your flying performance drops when it's, you know, hot and humid, and then going to the air shows and taking bigger people. It's just nice to have that extra kick, and you can demo the ability of the gyroplane so much more if you've got a little extra engine power.
Makes them a lot more nimble.
Yeah, I flew in an Edge Performance, the competition made in Florida. They're called American Rangers. Very nice flying, very stable, very agile gyro, you know, every bit as good as ours. But he had 154 horsepower edge conversion, and it was amazing, you know, silly power. But it was really good, yeah.
How neat. Now you've done some really neat trips that like Australia.
Yeah, in 2017, it was mainly ticking off the bucket list of all the things that Jim and I had planned to do with our gyro adventure, midlife crisis come empty nest hobby together that we started in 2010 researching, and it was a long protracted journey through a couple of obstacles that we had to overcome, and so we finally ended up with an awesome machine and a great team to help us market it. It's our flight instructor and friends down in Texas. And so the first thing was I wanted to go to exhibit we've got when Jim's machine went down, I was working on placarding and getting ready for airworthy inspection, a yellow one we'd just brought into the country. We just brought it up from its arrival point in a container from Australia, and I was getting it ready. So a couple of months after it was inspected and cleared to fly, then I took it down to our club east of Houston at Anahuac, Texas, and flew the mandatory 40 hours solo. You put it through all its flight tests, rack up 40 hours, and then you're good to take passengers. So I did that then, spent a couple of weeks at Anahuac doing a lot of flying, getting back into it at the end of 2016, and then I wanted to take it to Sebring Light Sport Expo in January. So I thought, well, what would be cooler than flying it there to Florida? So it was January, February, and then in April I went down to Australia to pick up my new one, the red one, and mainly pick it up and go tick off the bucket list. Jim and I were both planning to fly a gyro to the Australian Sport Rotor Association's annual gathering, which was in Goolwa, South Australia, which was just a couple of hours flight, gyro flight time from Jim's very good friends, the Downing family, that he went back every November into to Australia on his busman's farmer's holiday. So he would be working for them, driving their harvest headers and their trucks and helping them with their grain harvest and farming operations. We'd get our harvest finished, he'd jump in a plane, go down there and help them with their harvest.
Wow.
So they were very special friends, and so just because that ASRA Nationals was in South Australia, that we really wanted to go to that. So it was like ticking off, hey, this is one thing we were going to do together. So I put the stickers, I had a friend in Florida who's really artistic, so he cut out the design, and I had my sticker company make those stickers so he could fly with me on the nose and the side of my gyro on that adventure.
Now, if somebody wants to see some of your flights, you have a YouTube channel.
I do. I have not yet published anything from the Australia trip. I started a journal on WordPress that didn't get, it was like a day by day with some still pictures. I've written a couple of articles in Powered Sport magazine about the adventures to Florida to Australia, and then later in the year I haven't yet written up about our flights in Utah in June around Moab for 5 days of magical flying, and then when this red one got shipped to America, its first trip was from Arizona. I trailered it to my friend's place in Arizona, and then we flew together from near Tucson, Arizona, out to El Mirage Lake, where the September PRA chapter in Southern California have their annual fly-in. So there's I just haven't got around to writing up a couple of those adventures. I have a YouTube channel mainly for rotorcraft friends and just documenting my personal little steps along the way to becoming a gyro pilot, especially in my single place when I was doing hops and low flights and first pattern, first flight away from the airport and around the farm. Mm-hmm. We have a couple, Jim and I, in the Titanium out at Utah with some spectacular flying along the mountains and dropping off over down a little canyon out towards the Salt Lake. So, but they're very unprofessional. They're just documenting for my personal pleasure the flights we did and they're long. They're not well edited or so they're far from a professional production.
Did you want to put your channel out there if people are interested? Or?
Yeah, it's Oz Gypsy, OZ Gypsy, GYPSY 3456.
Super.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for showing us your wonderful machines here. They're
Yeah.
incredible.
Good.
We just want to say many, many thanks to Christine
Absolutely. Many thanks. Thanks a lot.
for your hospitality, for all the fun. We had such a wonderful time. And we came away with a new friend. And that's what this lifestyle is all about. And, well, we just had such a wonderful time with her.
It was pretty exciting.
It was. I know. All those the toy wish list just gets longer and longer.
No, I'm not going for one of those. No.
Oh, but that was a blast. And time to move on. We have got a busy week ahead of us. We're going to be traveling every day for the next few days, working our way towards Idaho.
Let's get. Hey!
Somebody's watchdogging. And we just want to say thank you to all of you for watching. We really appreciate it.
Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
If you see us out on the road, say hi, flag us down, give
Honk
us
at
a
us.
wave. Preferably with all fingers.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you. Again, thanks, Christine.
Yes, thank you.